Welcome to Malta. This small Mediterranean island, once a British colony, spans just 122 square miles, making it one of the world's smallest countries. Despite its size, Malta is home to over 500,000 people and incorporates a rich blend of European, North African, and Middle Eastern influences. During our stay, we based ourselves in Melieha, known for its sandy beaches and historic forts. From here, we hiked the rugged countryside and even took a ferry to Gozo. Join us as we explore this fascinating country.
This is Malta Church, which is a parish church of the Nativity of the Virgin Mary, and it's sort of the main attraction in the area that we were staying.
We decided to base ourselves in the north of the island because we wanted to do hikes and see the sea, as opposed to the south, which you'll see later. It's a bit more of a party vibe.
This looks like a Pixar scene of the clouds and the moon. This hill was killer to walk back up at night. But yeah, this church was built between 1881 and 1898, and over 70% of Malta's population is Roman Catholic.
One of the first hikes we did around Melieha was to see this giant, not a cave, what do you call it? Like a
Blowhole.
hole. It was pretty cool, but kind of sketchy. And we walked over what looked like Mars to get there.
Very rocky. And also, we were visiting in November, and the weather was still really nice.
Yeah, definitely. Beat the summer crowds, go in the off season.
Low 20s, perfect weather.
Check out the color of this water down here. Also, most of these hikes are not like official hikes. They're just routes we found on Google Maps. One of the more official hikes we did, though, was the Foresta 2000 trail up to the Red Tower, or St. Agatha's Tower. This tower was built in 1649 and was designed to defend against Ottoman and pirate attacks. As the British ruled Malta from 1800 to 1964, it actually served as a military post and observation post during World War II for the British.
Another hike we did was from Melieha to St. Paul's Bay, which took a couple of hours. There's these cool prehistoric temple tombs, and they have various tombs and old huts in that area, such as Punic tombs, which were around 500 BC, and these were tombs for the Punic people from Carthage, which is modern day Tunisia. Yeah, just lots of various caves and little Roman baths. And also the oldest carob tree on the island. And we also just stumbled across a lot of this stuff, such as this apiary, which I think an apiary is for bees. It was previously used for burials in late Roman times, around 1000 AD. But yeah, it's a sort of Punico Roman building. It's over 2000 years old. Punico Roman is just like a blend of two cultures that developed in North Africa after the Roman conquest of Carthage, or modern day Tunisia, in 146 BC.
And of course, no trip to Malta is complete without visiting Europe's smallest capital and UNESCO World Heritage Site.
We took an Uber there though. We didn't hike to Valletta because it took about 40 minutes in the car.
Yeah, good point. It's interesting because it was built as a fortress city against Ottoman and pirate threats. Side note, when we were on these stairs, we were stopped by an older British lady who was telling us about all the shops that she had seen come and go during her time there. It was very interesting. And during World War II, Malta was heavily bombed, but because of all these fortifications around the city, it protected the people. And it also served as a British naval base and military command post during that time.
You would think by these pictures that it was like the peak of summer, but as I said, it was November. But apparently, talking to our taxi drivers, the weather was still holding out. It could turn at any point, so it might be more stormy and cold if you decide to visit in November. Natural swimming pool. But I'm actually glad we didn't base ourselves in this city and we were up north instead, because half a day is enough to see the entire city.
And across the bay from Valletta is an area called St. Julian's.
It has more of a party feel here, so I guess younger people were staying there. If your vibe is going out to like bars and clubs at night, you probably would stay in St. Julian's. But yeah, there wasn't really anything particular there. It's just a city. But you did see a cool view.
Especially at sunset, we sat here and just soaked it in.
Because you can't really see the main cathedral or church up close on the main section. We also took a day trip to Gozo, which is one of the small islands to the north of mainland Malta. And you can take the ferry from Chirkewa to Magar in Gozo. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's only €4.65 return per person for a foot passenger, at least it was in the off season. And you just simply board for free on the Malta side, and you only pay once you get to Gozo, so you don't have to worry about getting a ticket in advance.
And once we made it to the island, we headed straight for the coastline and basically just hiked all day. It's very dry and arid, but it was very pretty, overlooking the sea and lots of cacti.
Yeah, and we hiked all day, maybe like 6 to 8 hours of hiking along the coast, because we were trying to reach Victoria, which is the main sort of city on Gozo.
It wasn't a difficult hike by any stretch, just long.
There were some slightly sketchy sections just because the dirt was so dry, so when you were going downhill, you could easily slip. But it was fine. Apart from the gunshots that we heard, I think that was just due to people hunting birds.
Yeah, migratory birds are. One of our taxi drivers told us that.
And this was the creme de la creme of the hike. It's what everyone comes for, to view the cliffs of Gozo. They're pretty impressive, to be fair.
Every man for himself, though. You get too close, you're falling over. But it was very dramatic and beautiful. And we were here kind of at sunset, so it made it even more special.
That's epic. And that's the city we're heading for, Victoria.
So there's the citadel in Victoria that you just saw. It has a historical walled fortress that we just stumbled upon. We didn't really know anything about it, but we kind of had the place to ourselves. Here's the Cathedral of Assumption, which was built between 1697 and 1711. And it's notable for having no dome, even though they painted the ceiling to look like it does. So, this citadel has been inhabited since the Bronze Age, around 1500 BC. Inside of it, it has museums and an old prison, but we were there quite late at night, and I'm surprised we even got in at all.
When we got the ferry back, you can't see it on camera, but you could just see all the stars in the sky. But again, because we were visiting off season, the ferry wasn't busy, but I can imagine this ferry and that hike and the citadel getting extremely busy during summer months. But yeah, all in all, I really liked Malta. I'd had no expectations at all. I think it was the right decision to stay in the north of the country because I think you would get bored staying in the city for a whole week. But if you're into hiking, then yeah,